I have 2 words for all of you being forced to celebrate Valentine's Day. League Pass. You're welcome. Run It Back starts now.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up.
Oh, happy Tuesday morning and welcome to Run It Back, the show that brings you all the great news from smiling faces such as ours. I'd like to introduce the panel on this day. It's Stadium Insider Shams Charania. How about Chandler Parsons over there rocking the Florida and Eddie G on the end? Guys, big Valentine's Day plans? I know you guys are all lovers, not fighters.
Eddie told me before the show he's wearing red in honor of all of his loved ones. So
wow. Celebrate.
Nice,
all my friends.
Chandler, you're a newlywed. I feel like you're under the most pressure.
I am going to go at 8 o'clock right when this show ends and give flowers real quick because I totally.
You just outed yourself, Chandler. I don't know, man. Hey, I know Haley religiously watches this show. You just outed yourself as being late to the flower game. So.
Not set up at the new house yet, Sean. She's still sleeping.
Yo, this is the longest setup at the new house I've ever heard of in my entire life. All right, there was basketball. There was a lot of basketball last night. There was just 40 points flying around all over the place. How about the Mavs, though, first? Lost 124-121 to the Wolves, despite Kyrie with 26 in the fourth. On the final play, though, Kyrie and Luka couldn't get the shot off at all. Well, no big deal, because here's Anthony Edwards explaining just exactly what happened on this moment right here. Ugh.
Coach asked did we want to foul. I said, man, let's get a stop. Like, this is what me and Jay now here for. We out here to get a stop. So put us on the best 2 players and see what we do.
I love it. I love that he had an answer for that, Chandler. All right, just take me through anything else that could have happened that would have been better than what we saw in that final possession.
Yeah, well, you said it. Pretty much anything else. And first of all, this was great defense by Kyle Anderson here with a minute to go. But this play, I couldn't even really tell what they were going to run because Jared Vanderbilt did such a good job here kind of deflecting this and disrupting this. And now at this point, it's basically a broken play. And it looks like they're just kind of playing hot potato. And it almost looked as if they didn't want to piss each other off. And they were just, and then they kind of panicked there. And like Kyrie said after the game, this is worst case scenario. You have these 2 players, no matter what the out of bounds play was, you got to be able to get a look here. The fourth quarter that Kyrie Irving had was really special. It's the most points he's ever had in a fourth quarter. I think Dirk's record is like 29 a quarter. So the fact that his first home game, he put up numbers like this was great. And this is why they brought him here. This shows the capability offensively, how good he can be. They both played really good. Christian Wood even gave them 24, 25 points. So it's never going to be the issue with them offensively. These guys can get to their spots. They can score the basketball in so many different ways. But this is the second game in a row now. Obviously, it's still fresh, but they're not being able to finish and not being able to get a good look at the end of the game. This happened in Sacramento, and now this happened again here. But it's going to take a little bit of time. You can tell their spacing was off. They kind of were just playing, like I said, hot potato with the ball, trying to find something. But this was just a very disappointing ending to a really, really, really crazy, impressive fourth quarter comeback. But it's going to be the other end that's going to give them woes all year long. It's not the offense.
Well, shout out to Jason Kidd for not running the same play he's run all year and had the team screaming out what was going to happen when Luka came to get the ball in the corner. But yeah, Jaden McDaniels made an incredible play. I think, Luka was going to have the ball all by himself on that right side of the court, and that just changed everything. And I had Kyrie on my podcast a few years back, a couple lifetimes ago, and he discussed the last shot with Kevin and said, hey, now I finally have a guy who can make that shot. I feel like can make the same shots as me. A little bit of hot potato at the end there. I don't know what they were. If he was a little anxious. He had an incredible quarter, and Kyrie looked mad afterwards. He doesn't look mad after every loss. He looked mad. He wanted that win bad. I think they were down 28 points going into that quarter. So to stage that massive comeback was insane. But credit to Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels. They made a huge stop at the end of that game. And, watch out for the Timberwolves. I joke about them a lot, but they're waiting for their second best player. And they can make some noise. They're steady there in the 10th spot right now. They can move up a little more, get out the play-in. That's a dangerous team if they get healthy and if they get everybody on the court and try to make a run at it.
26 points for Kyrie Irving in the fourth quarter. Luka Doncic did his thing too. To me, I'm not really as concerned about them. They need to find their rhythm, especially in late game situations. To me, it's more the defense. You trade away Dorian Finney-Smith, probably your best wing defender, and so now they're kind of absent a little bit on the wing, and then especially down low. Timberwolves scored 64 points in the paint, outscored the Mavericks by far in the paint, and so that's, to me, a concern, is having size in there. They don't play JaVale McGee as much anymore. They're really going strictly with Dwight Powell, a little bit of Christian Wood. You're going to see Maxi Kleber come back at some point after the All-Star break. That's going to be a big return for them because he really shores up a lot defensively. So I want to see this team get healthy with Kleber back in the lineup, and then see how Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic find a rhythm, because like Kyrie Irving said last night, they really did not know who was going to take the last shot, how they were going to handle that situation. I think in time, rhythm will show that.
Yeah, Shams hit it. And again, offensively, they're going to score points. They are going to be able to figure it out. They're way too talented, on that side of the floor. It's defensively, I just felt like I kept watching guys. The rotations were wrong. Guys were getting beat one-on-one, and it ended up in a Rudy Gobert dunk. And like Shams said, 64 points in the paint. I think they had 40 or something in the first half. And you can't give up 58% field goal percentage at home and expect to win games. It was too easy for Minnesota. They had absolutely no answers for Anthony Edwards. They tried throwing double teams at him. And they have guys that can defend. Josh Green can defend and move his feet. Reggie Bullock can defend. Tim Hardaway was out last night, but he's a capable defender. But it's kind of a collection of everything. Their team defense, their rotations. And I know Kyrie Irving this is his second or third, whatever game. It's going to take time. But defensively is effort. Defensively is thinking. And it doesn't look like they were kind of focused on that end. And they need to understand that they have it offensively, and for them to win games and for them to really be a contender, they got to come up big defensively.
Anthony Edwards had 32 points, 5 boards. Gobert, Eddie, 21 and 14. But that's not what I want to ask about, Shams. I want to ask about their second best player, according to Eddie G, Karl Anthony Towns. When can we expect him back?
So there's optimism that he'll be back at some point second half of the season. Anywhere 10 to 15 games left in the year is what you'd hope for when there's really a month plus left in the NBA regular season. But they've been really cautious. That was a very serious calf strain that he had. He went on the records, I think it was on Twitch, and said it was a grade 3 calf strain. Those are really, really serious, and you want to make sure you're 100% healthy. It's going to be, several months that he's going to end up missing because of this injury. So they're really unsure exactly when, but the hope is at least with 10 to 15 games left in the year, he'll be able to make his return.
So that's not a ton, right, Chandler, when he does come back, if he does come back, and how much time's left in the season. And I know you said that they're capable of making some noise, but now that you're hearing this news, does that change your expectations for the Timberwolves?
Not really. You look at these teams ahead of them, they're all much better in my opinion. But don't forget, I did pick Karl Anthony Towns as my preseason MVP. So I had
that's right.
I had high hopes for this guy and for this team. But honestly, I think they're playing better. I think they're kind of figuring out the Rudy Gobert, how to use him. Naz Reid has been unbelievable for them in the absence of Karl Anthony Towns. I love adding Mike Conley. I think just having that vet under control point guard. But when you look at the Western Conference, I think there's too much there, and the Wolves don't have enough. But yeah, obviously it's going to help getting back Towns, who can obviously give you 30 and 10 on any given night, and it's definitely going to help. I just think they've dug themselves too far of a hole. But maybe next year they'll kind of continue this hot streak and get off to a better start and stay healthy.
All right, so this is the part of the show where eyes will probably roll. Yes, cue it. At halftime of this game, a couple, Mavs fans, actually got married. It's the first wedding to ever happen on an NBA court during a game. He actually proposed at midcourt during a game back in 2021. Who wants to take this one? Eddie, do you love it? Do you
Chandler
love
just
this
got
so
married.
much?
Chandler just got married.
Chandler, why didn't you do
Chandler.
this?
I'm not convinced this is real. Like I can't.
Oh, it's real.
I don't know.
It's sponsored by Chime. It was like a whole thing, like paid for by a sponsor and blah, 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 blah.
I got to get this scoop.
What history?
This is,
What history? What a way to make history.
I don't want to.
What a forgiving
Michelle, how
woman.
would you feel?
What like an understanding woman. Like, we're
I
getting
don't.
married. Where?
By the way,
Oh.
she's wearing like a real dress.
I know.
Like she really.
Is she the big Mavs fan as well? Or is she just being really, really nice to him? I don't know. God, I don't know, guys. I got to get the dirt on this.
Here's the thing, babe. Massive wedding. We get 13 minutes, though. Matter of fact, we get 12 minutes because it'll take a second to set up, and that's all we got. This is like, I was flipping the channel, like trying to keep up with the games. Like, yo, what is this? Like, what happened in this game? No, Beadle, you get engaged. You have to get married on the Spurs court.
Yeah.
Pops.
Run away, bride.
Okay, hold on. Pop's there? I'm back
Pop
in.
officiates.
Pop officiates. I'm back. Yeah, I don't even care who I marry. I just want Pop to officiate the wedding. That would be fun. By the way, and here it is on Valentine's Day. Look, when they get divorced, they'll have at least a funny story about when they got married. And I love it because when the first fight happens, whoever didn't want to do this is going to come up for the rest of their lives. You made me get married in front of a bunch of strangers in a loss. Good job.
Kyrie's first
sponsored wedding is insane.
It's that part's smart.
They got married at Kyrie Irving's first home game as a Mav.
Oh, I wonder if he gets them a gift. That would actually be a big move in his favor to sort of win back public trust. Just give him something really good. Yeah, I hate public engagements. And this just took the cake. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, let's move on. Knicks Nets. Eddie, is the streak over? Yes, it is. Beat the Nets 124-106. Jalen dropping 40. Josh Hart with 27. Now we're going to talk about it. The fact that Jalen Brunson was snubbed for All-Star Weekend. Chandler, does it look even worse this morning?
I mean, yeah, this is a real legit player, and this guy is a huge reason why the Knicks are in the position that they are in. And you look at a game like last night, guy's so efficient. He's 15 of 21 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3. He's so solid. He makes the right decision. He can post up little guy. He is the absolute perfect point guard in today's game, I think, because he can do a little bit of everything. He defends. He's big. He can post up. He can make threes. I absolutely love Jalen Brunson, and I do think he should be an all-star. And it's tough to say, this guy, Drew Holiday, he's the second best player on the Bucks, who have a way better team, or DeMar DeRozan's, record is worse, but his numbers are a little better. I don't know who I would replace, but this guy's an all-star, and you look at the body of work that he's done, the excitement he's brought to MSG. This kid's having a career year, and I think he's going to have more. I don't think this is a one-hit wonder. I think this is who he is, and he's getting a chance to shine without being Luka Doncic's second fiddle, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Look, the thing about having this kind of conversation, right, is it's easy to say he was snubbed, but then in order to talk about it, you got to take someone off, Eddie. So, that being said, if you agree that Brunson should be an all-star, whose place is he taking?
I think the easy answer is his teammate. They picked the wrong Nick. I think another answer could be Tyrese Halliburton with all the games he's missed. I think Hallie's had a great season, but I just think Jalen Brunson has been better. Their team has been better. He's been on the floor all year. He was incredible last night. And, you look at the Nets and the way they're put together now, they have all the 3-and-D wings in the Eastern Conference, but they have nothing for him, for a shifty guard like that who can get to the paint at will against anybody. And he made them play small over and over and over. He put that team in the blender all night long, and they got nothing from R.J. Barrett. They got nothing from a bunch of their guys, but Jalen Brunson was able to carry them and break the win streak. Sorry, Knicks fans. I've been getting smoked by Knicks fans for 2 weeks. But look, hey, I have no dog in the race no more. You guys go for it. You beat them for New York supremacy. Enjoy it. I don't know what to tell you about that. Also, shout out to Josh Hart. Sneaky deadline pickup. He had 27 points last night. He's out 10 of 14. He looked like an all-star last night. I watch 2 Josh Hart games a month and go, is he one of the best shooting guards in the league? And then the rest of the time he's just Josh Hart role guy, and that's fine. But he was incredible last night. He's going to be huge for them as they get into the playoffs, and on a team and a coach who is desperately dying for one more wing on his team. He's refusing to play 4 guys. He wants a wing really bad. He has one now, and I think it's only a matter of time before he's starting. The way R.J. Barrett is being pushed in and out the lineup, getting benched, getting sent to the locker room, it's only a matter of time before I think Josh Hart starts.
And Eddie, they got Josh Hart for Cam Reddish, who wasn't playing in the first place. So, when you see a trade like this is huge for them, because now you get a more Thibodeau guy, a tough, hard-nosed defending wing like Josh Hart, when they weren't getting anything out of Cam Reddish anyways, and Thibodeau was not going to play him, and there was clearly something there. So to me, yeah, this trade here flew under the radar because Josh Hart's going to be a huge piece going forward for this team.
Josh Hart must love changing teams. He averaged 20 points a game last year when he got traded to Portland. So, this guy, I guess he's going to do what he does every time when he changes teams in New York. But I think this is, like what you guys said, this is like the perfect Tom Thibodeau player in Josh Hart. And I think this team now, they finally molded it to fit Tom Thibodeau. I think last year you go and trade a first-round pick for Cam Reddish. That's not a guy that Tom Thibodeau seemed to want. That's not someone that he was in favor of going to acquire. You get rid of Cam Reddish, you bring in Josh Hart. To me, yes, they're going to be competitive, but what star do they end up going to get? A-list star. Is it going to be in the offseason? Who is it going to be? There's always going to be this quest for that A-list star in New York City, but right now I think they've clearly got a very, very competitive group.
Did I see Iggy Azalea down there with like Jalen Brunson at one point? Was that a spotting that I saw? Random. Eddie, I know you said you don't have a horse in the race anymore. By the way, does this mean now you're full-fledged Sacramento Kings fan and that's it? Like, what do we do with you?
I think Phoenix Suns technically, but I'm enjoying the Kings. I'm betting on the Kings tonight. So
yeah, but you can't have two in the West. That's not right. All right, Ben Simmons. Let me read his stat line. I don't want to mess it up. 2 points in 13 minutes off the bench. Okay, I got that. Where does he fit in with this team? What are we going to do with Ben Simmons, Eduardo?
He doesn't. I mean, Coach Jacques Vaughn said last night, I can't play him with another big because there's not enough space. I can't play him as the center because there's not enough rebounding. If I play him with a bunch of shooters, we have to adjust for that. Jacques Vaughn essentially said, I don't know how to play this guy. I don't know if he can play. I don't know if he should play. He said it in the nicest way possible, and he's right. He's giving below rotation player minutes to this team, and he has been all season long. He had a decent stretch in November, and essentially since then has not really looked like an NBA player. And they're almost, because he's a max player, because of what they gave up to get him, because he was a centerpiece of their franchise going forward, almost obligated to play him. But it sounds like Jacques Vaughn is over it. He only played him 13 minutes last night. He's their backup center. That wasn't working well. He's out there. He's doing more fouling than he is scoring. He's passing up layups. It looks bad. It's frustrating to watch if you're a fan of this team, if you're a fan of basketball. And you can see your teammates being frustrated. And now to the point where the road crowds are in on it, the home crowds are in on it. I don't know what they do. He has 2 more years on his contract after this. He's not exactly tradable. Pretty much everybody told us he's got 0 or negative value. And so I don't know what they do going forward. They have to figure it out this summer. He recently said, hey, I'm not healthy still, which is fine, I guess. I mean, why is he on the court then? But he's not healthy still. It's going to take time to recover from his back surgery, from his knee issues, from all that. I'm wondering if they just bench him outright. My theory earlier in the season when Kevin was still part of the team and we're looking toward the playoffs, like he's going to get benched in the playoffs, not taking out the rotation, not, giving second unit minute, completely not play in the playoffs because he's going to be a liability. I think it's going to happen before the season is over.
I mean, I hate to say it. Sometimes a bust just is a bust, and that's all you can do with it, Chandler. But he mentioned the playoffs, so at this point, I mean, there's some time left. They're okay right now, but if you had to put some money on it today, are you thinking playoffs for this team, or do they drop all the way out?
No, I'm still thinking playoffs. Look, it's going to take time. They basically just added, 3-4 new starters to their team. They still have talent, and like I said yesterday, they've added some good pieces to kind of manage through this season without going in full tank rebuild mode. So I definitely still think they're going to be a playoff team. I don't think they're going to advance, but they still have Dinwiddie. They still have Mikal Bridges, who I love, Cam Johnson. They still got a lot of back. It's the Ben Simmons thing is tough because I went through something very similar where I was on a max contract. I was hurt. I was not very liked in Memphis, and it weighs on you. And there's nothing you can do, right? Because you're not playing good. Whether that's mentally or your health or whatever, you're basically untradeable. And now at this point, the team is better without you and the media is all over you. So this is a really, really tough spot. And I agree with Eddie. At some point, they're just going to have to shut him down because he gives no real value when he's on the court. He's almost just a distraction there. This happened to me in Memphis where I was butting heads with the front office so much. They finally just sent me home because they weren't going to play me. I wasn't part of their future, and they couldn't trade me. So I could see something similar to this happening where, listen, it's not the end of the world, and I think he can still he gave us too much back in the day that we have such high expectations of him. And I think he knows and everyone else knows that ship sailed. And as shitty as that is, as much as that sucks, this is who he is. He's just got to go to the perfect situation to keep playing in this league. He's got to go to the Warriors. He's got to go to a great shooting team that, plays small, that switches 1 through 5, that can actually have his game give them value. So I honestly feel it. People joke about it. I feel for him because it sucks, man. And there's nothing he can do. It's not like he's just going to magically be able to start shooting. It's not like someone's magically going to take on this big contract. So I agree with Eddie. I think at some point, man, you just pull the plug and kind of buy him out, send him home, do something of that nature, because he's not going to play for them.
Man, that's a bad story. All right, well, you mentioned the Warriors. They snapped a 2-game losing streak. Applause. Yep, beat Wizards. Wiggins 29, Clay 27. This version of Mr. Wiggins, is this necessary for them to go deep into the playoffs? Eddie, start.
Not every night, but this is a former #1 overall pick. This is an incredible athlete. This is their best defender on a team with Draymond Green, and he has the ability to score. In the early part of his career, that was the one thing nobody questioned. Was he efficient? No, but could he put the ball in the bucket when he wanted to? Yes. And the Andrew Wiggins who rebounds, who plays tough defense and can give you some buckets, that's exactly what they need. And what they really need is Stephen Curry. But this is a great win for them. They got to cobble some wins together. They got to tread water. Shams was saying yesterday, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute, maybe up to a month. And so these are the wins they need. These are the wins they need badly. So to see Andrew Wiggins get his legs back and to look like his old self again, that's a huge boost for them for sure.
Yeah, and Steve Kerr said it right there. This is his best game back. And you look back to last year, he was their second best player, arguably their best player on a lot of nights to kind of lead them to that championship. And this is the version he needs. Like Eddie said, he's their most versatile player. He's a breath of fresh air that you can throw it off the block and let him go get a bucket instead of just hoisting these threes like Clay and Steph and Jordan Poole do. He can score in a lot more ways. He gets to the basket, he gets to the foul line. And last night he looked bouncier. He looked athletic. He looked like he was moving better. And this definitely is going to help them moving forward because it keeps the defense off on their toes. He can still shoot the three, but he's also going to get to the basket more. He's big, he's athletic. So this is what, people expected him to be. And this is what he was last year. And I think for the Warriors to go far, they need this version of Andrew Wiggins.
Shams, since they decided to keep Gary Payton after it was all said and done and all the drama with the trade, and he's expected to miss a month, can we assume that this trade was done with the playoffs in mind?
Yeah, Michelle, I think exactly. I think the hope is that over the next 2-3 months, he's able to at some point make his return to the floor and come back before the playoffs or in the playoffs. I think the Warriors view this situation as either we're getting back Gary Payton II, who at some point could help us this year, or we just keep the trade as is and we get James Wiseman, a guy that is never going to play for us. So you put your chips in that Gary Payton basket, and Gary Payton II, he does also have 2 more years on his deal. So that at least buys them some more time if this season is not in the cards. But I think they are hopeful that he'll be able to play at some point before the playoffs or in the playoffs.
All right. I don't know why. I find myself rooting for him every time. Moving on to the Blazers. Guess what? Beat the Lakers. And another 40-point game last night. This one for Damian Lillard. He had 8 threes. Oh, my goodness. Matisse Thybulle with 14. He had 4 threes in his Blazers debut. So right now, the 3 teams that are sitting outside of the playoffs in the West are the Blazers, OKC, and the Lakers. Chandler, which one of these 3 has the best chance of making it into that play-in game?
I'd probably go Portland just because Dame Lillard is playing really, really well right now. I like their team. They didn't make crazy moves, so they don't have a grace period to kind of gel together, and they don't need reps. The Lakers is basically a whole new team. What are they, 2.5, 3 games back? That's a tall task for a team that's just getting together with only a couple months left in season. And Oklahoma City, they're young. I love their team. I'd love to see them in the playoffs. I just don't think they have enough, and eventually they're going to kind of tinker off. The Blazers have vets. They have stars. They have shooting. I think this is a team that we can see kind of sneak in there, especially if you're just comparing them to those 2.
Eddie, you agree?
Yeah, I think it's the Blazers. I think they're the best team of the 3. They have probably the best player on the 3. Damian Lillard, I'm sorry. I said De'Aaron Fox should make the All-Star game over you. I was not familiar with your game, my friend. With 4 30-point threes last night. Even hit The sideways, that's a bad shot. At the buzzer, like, it was a ridiculous display of shooting. And Damian Lillard deserves to be in that game. Now that De'Aaron Fox is there as well, you guys are both well deserving. But I think they also need to be in the playoffs more than these other teams. The Lakers, look, I'm sure we're going to talk about the Lakers right now, but we're about 2 weeks away from, like, does LeBron need to be here? Does LeBron need to finish this season? He already broke the record. Does he need to play this string out here? And so we're going to have Portland making a real push here, and they're going to have a real chance. They have some teams above them that I think they can pass. They can make that play in. And look, with a shooting display like we saw last night, that's a dangerous team to play in a one-in, one-out type game. And it'll be interesting seeing what they're doing going down the stretch.
Yeah, how are we feeling about the addition of Matisse Thybulle? It feels right, Chandler. Like, this feels like it was a good move.
Yeah, this is huge. He's great defensively when you look at the Trailblazers, you know, with Simons and Damian Lillard. This guy can really relieve pressure. He's long. He gets in passing lanes. I don't expect him, you know, to make 4 threes every single game. That's not really his strength. But, yeah, he's a smart, tough, crafty player that had some success in Philly and for whatever reason wasn't really in the rotation this year. But I think this is a great addition for him. I don't think he's a put them over the top, make them a contender right away by any means, but he is a great defensive-minded role player that clearly can knock down open threes when he gets open looks.
Shams, I just want to say this with all due respect, but I did release my own version of a Beadle bomb the other day when I announced that I think LeBron's done for the season. He got the record. Now he's just going to hang out and do fun things. And this is now, the third game that he has not played in, Eddie? Are you surprised? Do you expect him back soon?
I expect him back this week and for the All-Star game, and then after that, I don't know. Time to check out colleges with Bronny and figure that out. I think Sierra Canyon was officially eliminated in the playoffs the other day. For what? For what? They keep losing games. They're getting so far back in the standings. It's going to take a miraculous stretch for them to even get into the play-in. We're not even talking about making the playoffs anymore. To get in the play-in, have to win 2 do-or-die games to then get in the playoffs and then probably lose to somebody much better than you. Look, got his viral moment, broke his record, did all the cool stuff. Go home, be a family man. Like, it's fine. We'll figure out what's going on with LeBron in the summer. I don't expect him to play more than 5 games the rest of this season. Why?
Ooh,
there's no point.
5. Wait, are you counting the All-Star game as one of those games? Is that one of them?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 games.
He is not missing the All-Star game where he gets to pick the guys himself by hand, and the team is called Team LeBron. There's no chance LeBron is missing the LeBron celebration that will happen in Salt Lake City. But after that,
I'll take the over on 5. Listen, I think they did just make big moves. They did get some hope. They think they have a better team. LeBron's not hurt. He's probably exhausted.
What?
He's probably banged up. I don't think he's necessarily hurt. The guy just had 38 points or whatever. He can play. And I think as long as they stay kind of in this 2 to 5 game period, he's going to make one last push after All-Star weekend. Then, like you guys said, then I don't know. But I don't think he's just going to shut it down. I think he thinks they're still there. You look at the teams ahead of them, Jazz, OKC, Portland. They're arguably better than those teams. So I think he's going to play. I think they have a chance to get hot. I don't think he's just going to shut it down. Because if he shuts it down, they obviously have 0% chance.
All right, so the over-under's at 4, really, because we're counting the All-Star game as 1. Chandler over, Eddie under. Shams, I won't ask. I say no. Okay, Shams, when we come back, has the scoop on Pat Beverly. We all want to know, where is this man going? And let's check in on the Sixers, shall we? Run It Back returns.
Run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back.
Welcome back to Run It Back. We're still waiting for some guys to show up somewhere, right, Shams? So America's favorite nuisance, Pat Beverly. Where can we expect him to pop up next?
So he agreed to a buyout with the Orlando Magic after getting traded on trade deadline day from the Lakers. There are a few guys now. You look at him, John Wall, Russell Westbrook potentially as guys that are going to be looking for new homes. And so Patrick Beverly, he's a guy that's going to be in the marketplace. When you think about teams that need guard help, whether it's the Clippers, the Bulls, the Suns, the Nuggets they just got Reggie Jackson. I'm curious, Chandler's perspective, where do you think your former teammate is best suited right now in the NBA?
I mean, there's a team in Dallas that really needs some help defensively that could use someone like this to kind of relieve that pressure from Luka and Kyrie. I would love him there. I would still love him on Denver, even though they just got Reggie Jackson. I would like him on a contender that kind of is lacking defense and lacking toughness. And the two glaring ones that I see are Denver and Dallas. And you look at the East, it's going to be a contender, right? I'd love to see him on Cleveland. I'd love to see him on kind of like a vet, tough leader. Help those young guys, relieve any pressure from any scoring guard. So I like Cleveland. I mean, he fits the Miami culture. I just don't really think that's an option. But Dallas, to me, I think would be a perfect fit because clearly they need help defensively.
Okay, Eddie, do you agree, Dallas? I just want to know.
It just feels like a little bit of tampering on Chandler's part. I don't know, but I like the fit. Yeah, I like the fit. Look, anybody that goes to Dallas from here on out, I'm gonna go. How's he gonna get along with Luka, and how's he gonna get along with Kyrie Irving? And I'm gonna think that every time. But Pat Bev is quite the personality. You know where I think he's a fit? FanDuel TV. He's killing it with that podcast, and every time he's on ESPN. But keep bouncing the ball, Pat. He's gonna have some suitors. He'll be great.
I do love the idea in Dallas. That's just, it just spells so much good stories. All right, I'm really just here for the Stanley Johnson update, Shams. I love Stanley Johnson. I was sad he got cut from the Spurs. Where is he going to go next?
So he's set to clear waivers today or get claimed. I do think there's going to be a level of interest in him. He just got waived by your Spurs over the weekend. And there was some thought that the Lakers could be a potential fit. But the fact that he got traded by the Lakers to the Jazz and then he gets cut by the Jazz, now he ends up with the Spurs. There's a weird loophole that there has to be you have to go over 1 year before you can go back to that team. So no Stanley Johnson in the Lakers, but I do think there is enough interest in him among the contending teams and playoff contenders that he should be getting picked up at some point this season.
Why would anybody wish the Lakers on someone they like? No, I want him to go somewhere where he has a chance to keep playing past the last game of the season. Shams, appreciate you. We will wait for some updates throughout the rest of the day. Make sure you tell us first. Thank you. But we've got more to talk about. I told you we were going to talk a little bit of Sixers. They have won 3 straight. James Harden, 29-10, leading his team past Houston. Tyrese Maxey, 26 off the bench. Embiid had 23. They're 22-8 at home. Okay, we see the list. We know how the standings look in the East. But for some reason, it doesn't feel like we put them on the same tier as the Celtics and the Bucks, Chandler. Would you put them there now?
They're close. And listen, they're too inconsistent. They lose to a lot of bad teams, which isn't a great quality for a contending team. But yeah, I love their three-headed monster with Joel and James and Tyrese Maxey. They have all the pieces. They have defense. They have shooting. Joel Embiid is an absolute monster this season. James has kind of found his zone with kind of going back and forth from facilitating and getting to the rim and getting buckets. And I like them a lot. And I just think for the safer pick is Boston and Milwaukee. But yeah, when you look at their roster and you look at the talent they have, I love them adding McDaniels as well. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. And those 3 guys, any of them can go off on any single night. You can't really double team because they're so electric offensively. They have a lot of ways to beat you, and they're good defensively. So as long as they can not show lapses and kind of take their foot off the gas against these Orlando Magics and teams like that, yeah, I mean, they're a very, very good team.
Yeah, I'm with Chandler. They're third in the East now. They obviously leapfrogged the Nets. They leapfrogged the Cavs some time ago, and I think they're better than what both of those teams were anyway. And, one of the sneaky things about this season, James Harden looks like James Harden again. He looks great. 29 points last night. He has some burst again. He's leading that offense, and he has an absolute anchor with Joel Embiid, who's still maybe the MVP favorite, who in the playoffs can be the most dominant player in the league. He's going to be the hardest to guard in the entire Eastern Conference. And I think what's sneaky for them, the Jalen McDaniels pickup, he's essentially Matisse Thybulle, who he also can play on offense. And he's going to be huge. And Tyrese Maxey accepting the bench role. Now, I don't know if that continues on into the playoffs or not. I don't know how long they hold on to that. But him accepting that role and dominating second units in the way he is and the way he will be in the playoffs, That's huge for them. That gives them opportunity to rest Joel. They don't have to stagger Joel and James. They actually can sit them together if need be, if they want to sneak some rest in. Look, everybody looks good against the Rockets, but Tyrese Maxey is going to be huge for them as their third best player, as their X factor, and as their sixth man. They're sneaky dangerous out there, and if they beat the Celtics and the Bucks, we would not be surprised. It might be a little mild shock, but we would not be surprised because they have two of the best players in the conference, and they're dangerous.
And you know what? Throw the 76ers on the Pat Beverly watch, too, with the Daryl Morey connection, with the James Harden connection.
That'd be fun.
I like that as well.
Oh, I don't hate that. I can visualize that in my witch head. All right, fine. 11 games happened last night. So much disrespect was shown across the board, and it's time for us to put them all in one giant segment when we come back. Well, Bradley Beal, 25 grand lighter after touching the ref, making contact there, guys. Thoughts on the, yeah, you can't do that. Thoughts on this, Eddie?
I'm actually surprised he gets suspended. It was pretty aggressive.
Right?
I was watching this yesterday like, wait, he got to play after this? What was his beef? Like, where's the ref supposed to be at right there, bro? Sorry, I don't understand what his beef was. That was nuts when I saw that. It was pretty fascinating.
I want to watch a little bit around this time to see if he missed a call or something or what happened here. Because like Eddie said, I mean, this is a little extra. The ball was already going out of bounds.
But then it's the right arm. He pushes him in.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get tossed right away like this.
I mean, that was okay. Sorry about that. We had a moment there. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that. I'm surprised he didn't get tossed there. Like I want to watch around this area to see if this ref missed a call or something, because the ball was already going out of bounds. He had no chance to bring it up, and it's not like the ref was in his way. So I'm actually shocked it's only $25K, to be honest with you. Yeah,
I am too, because this part, the shove, is what makes it seem on purpose. Oh, I'm sorry. Shams is back, which can only mean breaking news. Shams, what do you got?
Okay, so we've been talking about the three-point contest for a really long time. You know, Chandler's been beefing with a few of the competitors, potential competitors. So here are the 8 three-point contest names.
Okay.
Jason Tatum, Kevin Huerter, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Dame Lillard, Anthony Simons, and Lauri Markkanen. He'll be the hometown hero of the night. So those are the 8 names. No Yuta Watanabe. I don't know if Chandler's going to be rejoicing today. This might be better than any Valentine's Day dinner he's going to have tonight. So
you got to shoot more than 2 threes a game to be in the three-point contest.
No, Chandler.
No
that is not what your beef was, though. You said he wouldn't handle the pressure. Brutal. Okay, wait. So we had 2 Pacers and 2 Blazers. All right, do it one more time, Shams.
So, and this tweet just went up. So we have Jason Tatum, Kevin Huerter, Tyler Hero, 2 Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield, 2 Trailblazers, Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons, and Lauri Markkanen of the Jazz.
Okay, it's official now. Chandler, who you got?
I like Damian Lillard.
Yeah, right? Well, I don't want to pick the same guy as you. Okay, Eddie?
I'm going with the red rifle, Kevin Huerter. I think he's got this locked in. This is easy. Give me the odds.
Golly. All right, I'm going to go Jason Tatum. I'm going to take the biggest name. Well, I know Lillard too, but I'm going to take Jason Tatum on this one. I feel pretty good about that. I like the addition of the 3 of those.
Where
last
are the FanDuel odds? Like, how do we not have
the props
yet?
up, FanDuel?
I'm
ready.
I don't have them memorized.
Get my app
what do y'all
out
think?
right now.
Get your app out. Tell us what you got. Shams, thank you, because there was the text thread last night between the 4 of us was silly. We're just trying to guess who. Chandler was the worst.
You guys were just throwing names.
Everybody.
I'm like, once you guys started throwing those names, I'm like, let me get the actual list. You know?
I knew when I said Isaiah. When I said Isaiah Joe, I knew you guys were done with me.
was brutal. Okay, Shams, now you can leave for real, unless you have something else you want to come back with in a little bit. All right, thank you so much. We promised you disrespect. We will deliver on the disrespect. That man has a family, and I hate this first one. I was there. It was brutal. But I will say this in defense of Jeremy Sohan. He did get up and start laughing, because what are you going to do? Donovan Mitchell is just so freaking good.
Yeah, you have to.
He made both of it. He made that man click his heels together. That's embarrassing. Oh my goodness.
Shut up.
Oh
Just
my
shut your mouth,
goodness.
Eddie.
And then
all
you
right,
make
you had
the
a
shot.
minute. It's the welcome to the league moment right there. Laugh
He
it
had
off.
the extra. He had the extra pass there, right there too, to the corner to Garland, and he wanted to finish.
Yo,
Dang,
he sent
that
that
one
man
hurts.
from the strong side to the weak side. That's embarrassing.
Hey.
Look at.
Yeah.
That's
This makes me feel sad. Okay, good. Let's move on. Matherin with the rejection on Sexton.
Anytime you block the ball down,
Jeez.
it's disrespect. It's disrespect.
Down.
You don't usually see that. You see it fly into the crowd. You see it go up.
Good God.
It hit the ball directly down.
That is
Colin
dumb.
knew he had a challenge on the way. He knew he had a tough task in front of him. Look, he tries to move. Nope, that isn't. Nope, not gonna work. Sorry.
Stick behind the back though.
Just to feel.
And then
the
he looks
presence.
like, who the hell is this kid? Like, what is this?
What
Yeah,
happened?
that's tough. That thing bounced about 12 feet in the air.
God, that's
Sure did.
awesome. That must feel amazing. All right. Okay, good. Sohan's not the only one on this thing. How about
Looks like the Pacers are playing the
Kyrie?
Pacers too.
Yeah, I don't
my
love that.
Goodness.
Oops.
Touch the ground, Mike. Touch the ground.
This is like an ISO post up ankle breaker.
Oh my.
Yeah. He did
Shout out
little-
to Mike Conley for the courage
Mike.
to guard this man in his late 30s.
Right? You got to try. What else can you do?
Yeah, that's
Feels
dirty.
like that's a growing pro. I don't want to do that. Not doing that again.
If he's out tonight with a groin injury, oof.
Exactly. I think we know why. Shaden Sharp. Oh, what could have been, Shaden? What could have been?
Here's the
all right, we got this.
2024 dunk contest champ.
It's just
Right?
not
This
fair.
almost is like-
It's just not fair.
Yeah, it's just salt in the wounds. Why did you leave us? Well, we know why you left
This is
us.
beyond dotted line. This is like I don't even want to think of what he could have did in the contest. It's just gonna make me mad.
Yes.
'Cause he did this easily.
You know what? You were going to think. We're going to think about it during the entire slam dunk contest. What could have been. Because we're going to not be that happy.
They could literally give the G League guys a trampoline. They're still not beating this man.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is near
and he
that
knows.
close to
He
free
knows what
throw
he's doing
in a
right here.
game is disgusting.
Oh,
holy, what the Bible
What a
with
day.
the SWAT.
what a debut for Thibault, though. Great
fun.
debut.
You know, facts. Malik Beasley, you didn't see him?
That's
Like,
fun.
you didn't.
Hit
didn't
him with a
feel
shot
that?
fake.
Yeah, little sidestep,
he's so
Malik.
happy.
You're
Yeah.
there.
Little show and go.
Yeah, just a little bit, man. You can still get your 3 up. What are you doing, dude? He looks so disappointed. He's like, why'd I do that?
Yeah, right? Like, could I have that one back? Just that 1 second back.
Yeah.
Good Lord, that thing goes far. All right, fair enough. And I am excited for the next one. How about Mr. Thompson on
Love to
Kristaps?
see it. Love to see it.
Whee!
And you know Clay screamed at him, too. You know Clay let him know what happened.
You had to.
That's
Wouldn't
great.
you?
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
there's no telling what I'd do if I dunked, period, let alone on Kristaps Porzingis.
This is, by the way, this is the
Stop the
this
whole
is
game.
This is the second best shooter of all time with an Achilles and an ACL banging on a footer. This is
I just
impressive.
love it.
This is really
2
impressive.
hands.
Yeah.
2
Well,
hands.
also because-
off.
He's living with sort of a chip on his shoulder. He thinks like we've forgotten him or we don't consider him, and so I love these moments for him. Although I don't think that, but I guess he thinks somebody does.
Like the Chiefs.
Like,
Yeah, I love how Clay's had the greatest life of all time, and he still has a chip on his shoulder. We
That's-
love
I mean,
you,
people-
big fella. It's fine.
Yeah.
People are more negative about the Chiefs, Michelle, or Klay Thompson. Which
Right? I love it when people living the best lives think the world's against them.
Who's doubted more?
Clay's is
Yeah.
funnier because he's living my dream life. That's it. Well, we're gonna try again. We're gonna try to make you some money. Thanks a lot, Luka. Our parlays when we come back. Join us.
Run it up, the running back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.
Well, another day, another busted parlay, guys. Let's take a look at what we had last night and see who was amazing. Chandler, look at you with your big green
Not
W.
that hard, guys. It's not that hard.
I will say this. I had Luka under 32.5. He finished with 33 points. So it just doesn't get better than that.
I will say, when I saw Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray out, I got a little queasy at my pick.
And then there's Eddie. Although, look, Eddie, you did have history on your side, but, you know.
Yeah.
Eddie,
I
you're
said
not a
no
homer
enough was
anymore.
enough.
You're not a homer
I know,
anymore.
you're right. I tried
You're
to show a
right.
little bit of love. Yo, I had a parlay last night that died on me because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tripped on his own foot with 40 seconds to go in the game. Why do we do this? This is bad. This is not good for us. But
Maybe
here
you
we
should
are.
take
We're
a
back.
5-minute break. Just take a time. Well, no, the good news is we don't get to take a break because we're going to try again. Eddie, you're up first for tonight.
I got
brother.
the Blazers. I'm even taking the points. Look, the Wizards back-to-back, both on the road. I'm a little worried now because the Blazers shot the lights out last night, and you know how
That's
that goes. That means they'll probably get all their misses in today. But look, I got the Blazers beating the road team on the second night of the back-to-back.
Okay, I like how you put a little doubt in already. Chandler?
Yeah, really hedged your bet there. I like Devin Booker over 24.5. Listen, I think Kevin Durant obviously is still out. They're going to need scoring from this dude. He's back. He's healthy. And I can't be wrong anymore because I'm that good at these picks. So this is going to
Dude, you've gotten one in a row.
You're only as good as your last. You're only as good as your last.
I mean, I've lost like a lot in a row, so I'll go ahead and tell you what mine is. Do with it what you want. I'm like the Pelicans of this show. I started out on fire, but I got Warriors +8 at the Clippers. I'm sure something stupid's going to happen right before the game, and I'll have no shot at this. But $20 wins you 115. So good luck.
Not bad. Not bad.
You know what? There was one on there none of us had in our parlays because the Celtics. So tonight was supposed to be this huge showdown, right, between the top two teams in the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee and Boston. However, we just got some tweets out from the Celtics with their injury reports for tonight. Malcolm Brogdon probable, Jaylen Brown out, Gallinari out, Marcus Smart out. Oh, Lord. Oh, there's another page? I'm sorry. Let's just see that. Oh, Jason Tatum, doubtful. Grant Williams, questionable. Robert Williams, questionable. I ask you this, Chandler. Any chance Celtics beat the Bucks tonight?
0% chance. They might as well throw the Magic Raptors game on TNT tonight because I'd rather watch that than this team they're throwing out there.
I don't know. Weirder things have happened, Eddie.
Well, who's in for the Bucks? Are they're fully loaded?
As far as we know, the norm.
Do the Celtics even have enough guys? Like that's
sure.
The fact that the injury list needed 2 tweets. Like, are we sure that this game is going to happen? Is it going to get postponed?
Well, there you go, Bucks.
Blake Griffin over under 11.5 points. What we got?
Over.
Blake? I'm going under. I'm going under.
He is going to be showcased tonight.
Yeah, why would he have over? If all of those probables or doubtfuls are it's not going to happen. I will say this. He has to have over, Eddie, if no one else is playing. I don't know. The Spurs put a team out the other night where we actually had to dress a guy that we knew wasn't playing just to have enough bodies in uniform on the bench. So, I mean, we lost. But still,
I will say, I feel like the Bucks aren't the team to like let their guard down. I could see the Bucks beating them by 30 tonight and it being over real quick. They're not like a let their guard down, let them stick around team.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Well,
if they dressed me and I knew I wasn't going to play, I'd give my jersey away to somebody in the front row afterwards. Like, I'd do a jersey swap anyway.
You're America's sweetheart, Eddie, and everybody's always said that about you. It's Tuesday, which means we got one more of these bad boys in the morning. So for today, we're done. Tomorrow, we'll see you at 10 Eastern. Have a good one.